What is post-anime depression? We must discuss this today. Now, immediately after my last video, which was basically a toradora review, I had to kind of think about why this series actually made me feel the way it did after I actually watched the entire damn thing. And it's something that I actually kind of regret not mentioning in this video, but I also thought that this was probably just interesting on its own. So I just want to discuss the whole entire idea of post-anime depression. Now, what is post-anime depression? Post-anime depression is basically a symptom that people feel after watching a particular set anime that they probably enjoyed. Most likely, I understand why you would actually feel depression after something that you didn't like, but it's usually something that you experience after you watch a good anime, and it's usually characterized by a feeling of emptiness or sadness or what the hell do I do now type of feeling. And it's usually something that everybody usually gets after they watch this particular anime. Now, the reason why this happens is actually pretty intuitive, and it's something that I kind of thought about as I was kind of driving. And this is the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. I believe that the reason why people actually experience post-anime depression is because simply that the series ended. They didn't want the series to end. Of course, you look at it as a series. Let's look at like My Hero Academia, right? So let's just imagine that season 1 was the only season of My Hero Academia, right? So you got all these characters, you got everything that's going on, everything is the quirks and all that stuff, and the personalities, the fight scenes, everything is amazing. And then there is no season 2, there's no season 3, nothing is going on with the manga, it just ends. And you got so attached to these characters and everything, and now you got to understand that there's never going to be a sequel, and all of that is just going to crumble on top of you, and you're going to get sad. You see, as humans, we're actually designed to go on with our daily lives. We have a certain type of routine to a whole lot of our stuff. We don't like it when things end, right? So if we have this job for about, 30 some years, and it was actually a good time for us, and then suddenly it just ends out of freaking nowhere, we're going to actually feel some type of way about that, because it actually deviates from the norm. It deviates from giving us that dopamine or some type of fullness in our lives, and it's the reason why post-anime depression is a thing. Post-anime depression comes from the fact that we got attached to these characters, these events, the stories, everything in the whole entire thing, in the entire series or the episode or whatever, and we didn't want it to end, and now we have to deal with the fact that this is actually not going to get another sequel, and this is basically over. In fact, post-anime depression actually doesn't really need to be a name. It's honestly something that should probably be called like post-series or post-anything type of depression, because if you experience something like, for example, my favorite movie of all time is Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph, of course, at the time when it was first released about 10 years ago, was supposed to be like a standalone type of movie. Even though it was kind of in talks talking about like a sequel or whatnot, Wreck-It Ralph was the only thing that happened, and that was basically it. And I remember after watching that movie, throughout the entire thing, I just had a great freaking time, and I was just so accustomed to all the characters, and I got so happy, and I had all these emotional feelings. And then you're telling me that the series just ends, or like the movie just ends after that? No, I want to see what goes on with Ralph and Vanellope. I want to see more games. I want to see more stories. I want to see everything. And then, unfortunately, I didn't get that. So I watched the movie over and over and over and over again to get my guess fixed, because, of course, I didn't want this to end. It's also the same symptom of like if you play like a video game or something like that. Like it's very, very short. Let's say something like Sonic Colors, right? Short Sonic game, and unfortunately it's very, very short, but you want it to keep going because you like the game so much. You want to keep playing, but unfortunately the game is very short, so you keep playing it over and over again because you want that sense, you want that dopamine, you want that happiness, you want that satisfaction. Humans crave that type of stuff. We crave all of that, and we do not crave finality. We love it when things go on. We love it when things that we enjoy keep going. It's actually, to be honest with you, it kind of gets dark right here, because it's actually one of the reasons why people probably fear death as much as they do, because you're living this whole entire life and everything, right? And you're like going through all the emotions and everything, and you're feeling all this happiness and all these emotions, and then at the very end of it, you're like, oh wow, I actually am going to die one day, and I don't know how I feel about that. And that's what people get, and people get into that you know, that existentialism. They start thinking about their whole entire lives and what it means to people. It gives them that feeling of emptiness. And whether or not you believe in religion or not, this is the reason why this is in human nature for us to keep going on. Removing religion from this equation is the reason why we kind of reproduce. We kind of want to keep things going or whatever, even though if we're not around. We want things to keep going, keep moving, because that's just how we're designed. And if you really want to put a little bit of religiousness in this, it's the reason why, like, our divine element is for us to keep going on forever. Or we are kind of designed to be very, very like forever type beings. We don't want things to end because that's not how it's supposed to be. But again, that's our little religious talk that I know that some of you guys are probably not going to understand or listen to. But the point of the matter is, the reason why post-anime depression is a thing is because we don't want these stories to end. We don't want these characters to end, and we don't want anything to end, because this stuff gives us happiness. It gives us a sense of security, and we have gotten attached to these characters. In the case of Toradora, we have gotten so accustomed to all these feelings and stuff and all these characters and stuff, and we don't want all this stuff to end, because even in the middle of the series, you might think of this, you might even have like mid-series depression, right? Mid-anime series depression, like we're talking about, oh wait, I just remembered Taiga and Takazu, when they get together, that's it, that's the end of the story. That's when they get married, that's the end of the story. And then you realize, oh wait, also when the freaking class next year graduates, that's the end of the story too. That's the end of their high school lives. They're gonna spread out. It's like real life, you know, you keep going, you're spreading out, everybody's going out now, and it gets crazy, and then you're thinking like, holy shit, I'm losing something that means a lot to me. And even if it's fictional, it really does not matter. When it gets to a point where it actually kind of connects with you in a certain way, and because it makes you feel a certain type of way, it gets you to feel a way in search of, you don't want this to end. You want this to keep going, and you don't want it to end because this completes you. It satisfies you. And it's not really selfish. I know that might sound selfish to some people, but that's just how it is. That's how humans are designed, and that is the way it is. And unfortunately, we have to live with the fact that these series are going to end. Now, there are cases into where, oh, well, this series is going to get like a season 2, or these things are going to keep going on and on and on. And then we get tired of them, and we don't think about it like that, you know? When things get like sequels and everything, that's when like all that stuff kind of dies. Like post-anime depression goes out the freaking window once another season or whatever gets, you know, announced or whatever, and it keeps going on and on and on. I mean, you might look at some people who look like One Piece, right? One Piece, as much as I love it, it does have a lot of episodes. There's a lot of arcs. There's lots of stuff going on. It has been running so long, and the reason why, you know, of course, the reason why is because, you know, it's so successful. But the whole entire idea of like post-anime depression is completely lost on One Piece. Now, you might have nostalgia for like older arcs and stuff like that, but the main whole entire point is that One Piece is still going on. Dragon Ball is still going on. Naruto is still going on. My Hero Academia is going on, and that just completely negates the whole entire act of post-anime depression. At the end of the day, post-anime depression just comes from the fact that we don't want things to end. We don't want good things to end, and we don't want to see these things end because they bring us happiness and satisfaction. So whenever you're watching another episode of Chainsaw Man, I don't understand that anime at all, but you might watch something like Fairy Tail, or you might watch something like Attack on Titan, and you're like, oh damn, this episode just ended, or this anime or this season just ended. Just remember, this is the reason why. The reason why you're feeling like that is because you didn't want it to end, because it connected to you in such a meaningful way, to the point where you don't want it to end, and it gives you a sense of happiness and belonging. And that's not a bad thing at the end of the day. It's actually kind of beautiful that some series can go out there and just touch your heart in such a big and giant way. And the fact that we as fans can still keep talking about these series and keep the fire alive and everything, it's a beautiful thing that we all should probably cherish and understand that nothing really ever dies. And I think that's where I'm going to end that. I just kind of wanted to jump on here and talk about that real quick. Post-anime depression, you might as well just call it post-anything depression, because that's just how it is. You know, people don't like when things end. We want to keep, you know, having fun and, you know, having a great time, or at least experiencing stuff, and it's really daunting to know when things just end. So with that being said, that is post-anime depression. If you want to know more about it, I don't know what else to tell you. Go look it up on Google. But yeah, I should probably stop doing these non-face cam videos, but I'm trying to get it there set up. I'm trying to, you know, get into my little groove. So one of these days you'll see me on the screen more and more. So probably after this video, there's probably gonna be a lot more changes to the channel. But with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, and if you guys saw and want to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? I have a Twitter, which is KamYKam77, as well as a Discord, link in the description down below, as well as a Let's Play channel called VidyaCam, link in the description as well. With that being said, thank y'all for watching. Have a good night or day whenever you're watching this, and as always, hasta.